Dubai is one of the most luxurious, wealthy, and modern cities in the world. It attracts not only tourists but also business people from all corners of our planet. Once you've been there, you want to return to this paradise again and again. I present to your attention a selection of the most interesting and amazing facts about Dubai. Enjoy watching. Dubai is rightfully recognized as one of the best cities for shopping in the entire Middle East. One of the most popular places for shopping and leisure is the Dubai Mall. If you've never been there, you might think it's located in another skyscraper. But no. The Dubai Mall consists of just 4 floors levels, yet its total area exceeds 1 million square meters. This center houses more than 200 stores where you can buy literally everything, from products by local manufacturers to goods from global brands. In addition to shopping areas, the Dubai Mall boasts a huge number of entertainments for visitors. Here you can relax in a themed indoor park, take children to a children's entertainment and wellness center, and endlessly observe the lives of 33,000 marine fish and animals. The Dubai Mall can be called an entire city where boredom never sets in. You've probably heard that there are no taxes in Dubai. However, this isn't entirely true. All individuals in Dubai, just like in cities of other countries, pay value-added tax. When purchasing any real estate, you must pay a property transfer tax and a 4% registration fee. There is no gift or inheritance tax. As for business, the United Arab Emirates has long attracted entrepreneurs with the absence of corporate taxes, but the situation has changed. On June 1st, 2023, the authorities introduced a corporate tax of 9% on profits. It should be noted that this is the lowest rate in the world. All companies operating in the country are required to pay this tax. This decision was made by the authorities for several reasons. Of course, the main one is the desire to increase the country's revenue. Additionally, the absence of taxes can be seen as an opportunity for illegal profits, which negatively affects the reputation of the Emirates. Another reason for introducing taxes is the desire to align their tax system with international standards. This decision will in no way affect the attraction of investors. According to the latest census, more than 3.5 million people live in Dubai. If you think all of them are Arabs, you're mistaken. About 85% of the population consists of people who came from other countries. You might be surprised, but according to UN data, the Arab Emirates are record holders for the number of migrants. At the same time, they are not refugees, but economic migrants. Most of these people came from India, about 900,000, Egypt, and 800,000 from Pakistan. I think many of you have heard about the privileges of living in the Arab Emirates. All these benefits apply only to indigenous residents, that is, Arabs. Yes, they make up only 15% of the population. But on the other hand, why should they share all the wealth of their country with newcomers who, for the most part, ensure the full functioning of the service sector? And here, we cannot talk about infringement of rights. Migrants receive good money for their work and the right to run their own business. But at the same time, indigenous residents do not have to bother with routine work and receive bonuses from the state. In Dubai, there's a real oasis in the middle of the desert, and it's the Miracle Garden. This place captivates you from the first glance and impresses with its beauty. Just look how gorgeous it is there. The park was opened in 2013. On its territory of 72,000 square meters, about 50 million flowers grow. At the same time, the flowers are not in flower beds. They are part of various compositions. Just imagine how much effort it took to create such an amazing garden in the desert. In the park, you can stroll along bright alleys, see a life-size flower Airbus A380 airplane, and characters from your favorite Disney cartoons. Even if you've already visited this place, the next year you can visit the flower garden again and see new compositions, as they change annually. As a rule, the park opens in November. In summer, it is closed to visitors, since unfortunately, the flowers cannot withstand Dubai's extreme heat. It should be noted that Miracle Garden holds 2 official Guinness World Records. The airplane model is recognized as the largest floral installation, and the Mickey Mouse sculpture is considered the largest topiary in the world. Dubai attracts tourists not only with an abundance of diverse services, eternal summer, and relaxation on the beaches of the Persian Gulf. This city is famous for its very low crime rate, and it's worth noting that this indicator decreases every year. The reason for this is not at all that a large number of wealthy people live in this city. On the contrary, there are many business people and workers from other countries in Dubai. Each of them values their opportunity to earn good money, and if a person decides to commit a crime, it will not go unpunished. In addition to imprisonment, they will lose their visa and the opportunity to ever return to the Emirates. Agree. If you have a good job or business, why would you lose it all for the sake of a crime? No one can escape punishment. Everything is strict in the Emirates. Therefore, the crime rate here only decreases. So if you decide to relax in Dubai with your family, you have nothing to fear. It's absolutely safe here, even during nighttime walks around the city. When a wealthy person has practically everything, all that's left is to get a wild animal as a pet. Surprisingly, indigenous residents of the Arab Emirates manage to do this, and the animals truly become tame and affectionate. If in other countries exotic pets are snakes, lizards, and spiders, then in Dubai, cheetahs, lions, and tigers are highly popular. Just imagine a luxury sports car driving past you with a large wildcat looking out the window. And this isn't a movie plot. Until recently, this was the real life of sheikhs in Dubai. However, in 2017, the authorities of the Arab Emirates banned private ownership of large, dangerous animals. This decision not only ensured the safety of the rest of the population, but also protected the rights of wild animals. Agree. Such an animal is much better off living in its natural habitat. Dubai surprises tourists with a variety of entertainments, goods, and services. Another amazing attraction designed for people with extra money is an ATM that dispenses not money, but gold bars. To this day, gold remains one of the most stable precious metals in value. Of course, the time when people paid with gold is long gone, but it still retains its role as a global reserve asset. This fact is proven by the fact that all major banks in the world hold a significant share of this precious metal in their reserves. In Dubai, ATMs selling gold bars can be found in many locations around the city. Buying precious metal is quite simple. Just insert your bank card into the ATM and follow the on-screen instructions. By the way, here you can buy gold not only in large bars but also in small pieces weighing from 1 gram. It should be noted that buying this precious metal in Dubai is very profitable, since the United Arab Emirates is a country where the price of gold is not regulated by the government. When it comes to races involving animals and jockeys, we think of horses, but in the Arab Emirates, such events are held with camels, and robots act as riders instead of people. Camel racing is considered a very popular spectacle and a national sport. But why were people eventually replaced with program machines? The thing is, becoming a camel jockey is much harder than becoming a horse rider. For this humpbacked animal, it's very important that the rider has a small weight. Otherwise, the animal experiences discomfort and begins to resist control. The most interesting thing is that for the sake of the spectacle, the Arabs found a way out and used children as riders. But agree, not every parent would agree to send their child into a sport where they have to cope with such a wayward animal. Unfortunately, for this reason, in less developed regions of the Emirates, children were kidnapped for these purposes. To put an end to this violence, the authorities came up with an amazing way to create robots that would perform the role of a rider. Back in 2003, a Swiss company called K-Team took on this project, and within a couple of years, the first batches of robots named Kamal saddled the humps. This idea turned out to be successful, and now lightweight robotic machines continue to perform the role of riders on camels in competitions. The address system in Dubai differs from those adopted in other countries. There are no street names or house numbering. Instead of an address system, the Emirate uses the Makani system, which relies on a coordinate system similar to that used by the military. Each building or each separate entrance to a building was assigned a unique code that helps locate it with meter accuracy. Such identifiers were placed on signs next to each building. People were only required to photograph or remember the code instead of the address. The Makani system was introduced in Dubai in 2015. Before that, due to the lack of addresses in the Emirate, there was real chaos. But now, with the help of codes, any person, from a taxi driver to a postman, can easily find the necessary building. And if a person suddenly forgets the code or doesn't know it, this can be easily fixed using the convenient Makani Dubai app, available for both Android and iOS. Of course, for us, such a system seems unusual, but on the other hand, it's very convenient. Instead of a long address, it's enough to indicate a short code. The United Arab Emirates is ready to fulfill any whim of rich people for their money. Not far from Dubai, you can even buy one or several artificial islands. Several man-made archipelagos were built off the coastline of Dubai, The first of them was named the Palm Islands. It includes 3 large islands, Palm Jumeirah, Palm Jebel Ali, and Palm Dera. All of them are shaped like palms. The total area of the archipelago is more than 60 square kilometers. 4 kilometers from the coastline of Dubai is the second artificially created archipelago, the world. It consists of 300 small islands. From above, the archipelago resembles a world map. Its total area is 55 square kilometers. According to information from open sources, the cost of the smallest and most remote island was about $7 million, and the largest was around $2 billion. At the same time, you can't just buy an island. The developer company itself sends sales offers to the richest people on the planet. The opinion that Dubai became a rich city only due to oil is mistaken. Of course, it was this natural resource that helped establish the economic well-being of the Arab Emirates. But it's worth noting that the local authorities demonstrated their intelligence and rationality. They decided not to focus on oil extraction and to invest the funds received in a completely different direction. In the neighboring city of Abu Dhabi, which is the capital of the Arab Emirates, there is much more oil than in Dubai. But at the same time, it cannot boast of income. And all because the main sources of Dubai's profit now are tourism, real estate, business projects, and investments. I believe that the local authorities chose the right strategy using oil to start their development, because sooner or later natural resources will run out. But the status of a city of wealth is already firmly, and for a long time, Zakrypilsa Dubai. Burj Khalifa can be called a modern wonder of the world. Its height is 828 meters, and this is a real record. Interestingly, after the construction of the tower, the Prince of Saudi Arabia promised to build a building 1.5 times taller than Burj Khalifa, but its construction was stopped back in 2018. So the Dubai skyscraper continues to remain the tallest in the world. Construction of Burj Khalifa began in September 2004 and ended in January 2010. Initially, the skyscraper was supposed to be called Burj Dubai, but at the opening ceremony, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum announced that from now on, the tower would bear the name of the former president of the United Arab Emirates, Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, who did a lot to make Dubai the richest city. Burj Khalifa is a unique skyscraper that is a record holder not only for its height, and here are some interesting facts about the characteristics of this building. The surface area of the tower is equal to 17 football fields, and its weight is comparable to the weight of 100,000 elephants. A special type of concrete was used for the construction of the building, which heats up less from the sun, which is very important for this region. It is in Burj Khalifa that the highest observation deck is located. You can enjoy Dubai landscapes from a height of 555 meters. Full cleaning of the building takes 3 months. The construction of the tower cost $1 billion. Now inside the skyscraper there are luxury apartments and the Armani Hotel, 900 apartments, offices, gyms, a restaurant, and even an observatory. Did you know that there is a real ski resort in Dubai? Of course, this sounds absurd. How can there be snow in a city of eternal summer? But the authorities of the emirate found a way out and built Ski Dubai inside the mall of the Emirates shopping center. In this place, anyone can escape the scorching sun and enjoy a snowy fairy tale. The complex has an area of 22,000 square meters, its capacity is 1,500 people, and its height is equivalent to a 5-story building. But isn't this a real ski resort? In the huge indoor complex, 5 ski slopes and 1 separate area for snowboarders are equipped. The slopes vary in difficulty and height. If you don't know how to ski, this is not a problem. Instructors work in the complex who will quickly help you make your first safe descent. The complex also has the largest snow park in the world. Its area is 3,000 square meters. The park looks very cozy, and visitors even forget that they are indoors. Real fir trees grow there, and there are wooden houses. In the evening, garlands are lit on the trees, and you seem to find yourself in a Christmas fairy tale. And also, real penguins live in Ski Dubai, who delight both children and adults with their sociability. Dubai has earned the nickname Crane Capital of the World, and all because a quarter of all construction cranes in the world are located in this emirate. Now you understand what volumes of construction it can boast of? Indeed, Dubai grew literally before our eyes, and the pace of construction was also impressive. For example, the tallest skyscraper in the world grew by 2 floors every week during construction. All this time, Dubai does not stand still. Work boils there around the clock. And just over 20 years ago, this place could hardly be called a city. Of course, this is the merit of the local authorities. They sought to create a unique, luxurious city that attracts not only tourists but also investors. And they managed to bring this idea to life in a record short time. Looking at modern Dubai, it's hard to believe that just 20 years ago there was practically nothing there. Not so long ago, in place of a luxurious city with skyscrapers, there was a fishing village. But how did a small settlement turn into a metropolis? The answer is simple. It's all about oil. It was this natural resource that served as the financial foundation for the city's development. However, in many parts of our planet there are oil deposits, but only the United Arab Emirates, in particular Dubai, can boast of such wealth. The thing is, when oil production began in Dubai in the late 1960s, the country's authorities developed an amazing strategy that worked. The idea was to create a unique cluster for the richest representatives of the world elite. Dubai was conceived as a city of luxury where the richest people on the planet should come and spend their money on the services offered. For this reason, the infrastructure of this city knows no bounds. Dubai looks expensive. Rich sheikhs live there. Limited edition sports cars drive along the streets, and in shopping and entertainment centers you can find anything. Add to this the picturesque landscapes of the Persian Gulf and the white sand of the desert. This place was supposed to become paradise, and the local authorities succeeded. It's worth noting that oil provided only the start. Today, black gold brings only 7% of the total income to the treasury. The rest comes from profits from providing services and participating in various business projects. Many tourists are surprised by the huge number of abandoned luxury cars on the territory of Dubai. Are people really so rich that they allow themselves to leave sports cars and not even bother selling them? Partly this is true. Local residents sometimes really leave their cars in the desert, but most often this happens after accidents. Repairing and selling the same Lamborghini in Dubai is simply pointless. However, this is not the only reason why people abandon cars. The thing is, according to the laws of the Emirates, bankruptcy and other cases of non-payment of debts are punishable by law. A person in such a situation faces real prison time. For this reason, people from other countries who opened an unsuccessful business in Dubai try to return home as quickly as possible. Of course, I think it's a pity for them to abandon an expensive car. But this is better than ending up in prison. Such cars in Dubai can be found in different places, on the outskirts of the city, in landfills, and even near hotels. In some cases, their owners leave the ignition keys in the cabin, along with a note explaining why they had to abandon their vehicle. Since January 1st, 2022, the authorities of the Emirates decided to transfer the working population of the country to a new schedule. Now Saturday and Sunday are considered days off here. Previously, Thursday was a day off instead of Saturday. However, despite the similarity with the generally accepted work week, there is still a difference in the Emirates. In this country, on Friday, people work only half a day. This is because the 5th day of the week for Arabs is considered a day of prayer. According to the Quran, on Friday, Muslims perform Jumu'ah prayer. This innovation became one of the significant events for the life of local residents and the country's economy. The authorities sought to simultaneously adapt to international markets and satisfy the need of working Muslims to perform prayer on Friday. So it was decided to provide the population with essentially a 4.5-day work week, while the Friday workday was reduced by half a day. For residents of other faiths, such a decision provided the opportunity to devote more time to self-education, travel, and family. In Dubai, there is not only the tallest building in the world, but also the longest automated metro. The metro was opened on September 9, 2009, and just 2 years later, it entered the Guinness Book of Records. The Dubai Metro has a total length of 90 kilometers and consists of 49 stations. When designing the metro, the ruler of the Emirates set a goal to create the most comfortable and modern facility, and it should be noted that he succeeded. Let's get to know the Dubai Metro better. All trains here are fully automated, and anyone can admire the city views through the windshield of the first car. The trains run very quietly. This smoothness of ride was achieved thanks to contact rail technology. All floors of all stations are equipped with escalators and elevators. Additional doors are installed on the platforms that open synchronously with the train doors, which eliminates the possibility of a person falling onto the tracks. A constant, comfortable air temperature of 20 degrees is maintained inside all stations. The lobbies and stations are designed in a modern style, supporting the concept of the four elements. The trains usually consist of 5 cars, one of which is more comfortable. A ticket to such a car costs twice as much. Some tourists first head to the metro to ride modern trains between the 2 terminal stations and admire the beauty of Dubai. The Dubai authorities decided to pleasantly surprise the residents of the emirate with a generous campaign motivating people to lose weight. For every kilogram lost, a person could receive 2 grams of gold and valuable prizes. As you know, many people around the world now suffer from excess weight. Often the culprit is improper nutrition, with a high content of carbohydrates and sugar. The Dubai authorities decided that spending money on social advertising is pointless. It's a long-invented scheme, and it rarely works. So they offered their own version of motivation. The first contest was held in 2013 under the slogan, "Your weight in gold." The following year, the project leaders decided to slightly modify it and offer participation to families in which children suffer from obesity. At the same time, if the problem of excess weight exists for all family members, the reward for losing weight is doubled. People liked this idea. 30,000 applications were submitted to participate in the contest, but most of them were rejected since the children had normal weight. Annually, about 7,000 people participate in the campaign. The record for kilograms lost is still held by a man named Ahmed al-Shehi. He managed to lose 26 kilos in 3 months. Earlier, we already talked about how Dubai broke all records for the speed of its development. From a former fishing village, it turned into a rich metropolis. Some experts believe that Dubai's success story will be very short. This city is sometimes compared to a soap bubble that inflates very quickly, attracts attention with its iridescent shine, but also bursts just as quickly. Of course, these arguments have their points. According to statistics, in 2023, Dubai's economy continued to grow, but much more slowly than during the peak development period. Gradual slowdown may threaten an eventual decline in income levels. But again, these are just forecasts. Moreover, a much smaller part of experts think so. The majority still doubt that Dubai will continue to remain one of the richest cities in the world for a long time. And that's all from me. If you liked this video, don't forget to rate it, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell. For me, your activity is the best reward. Thank you for your attention. See you soon.